Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live source. So we call these rites of passage. And when you're doing this work over time, how many of you noticed sometimes you recognize like it's not for the faint of heart? Yeah, it's like you're dealing with humans all the time. And then you're dealing with the human that you're most critical of, this one right here, all the time, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's a lot to discover about yourself and your human by doing this work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one of the things I've started saying just sort of organically, and now I made a list, is, rite of passage, great. Mm-hmm. And the reason is when people have something come up that feels a little sticky or like contrast. Like in the sourced experience, right? The sourced experience sometimes is sticky. When we see the truth, it's sometimes sticky. Right?
Often.
I twisted my ankle. The clock was off, right?
Right.
Like it's usually, otherwise we're just going in the flow of life, which is amazing. And then there'll be a season where it's time for a transformation and there'll be a stickiness. And when we're in this work, the stickiness actually comes kind of fast and furious sometimes, like, oh, and there I am dealing with myself. And what if you could think about the contrast as a rite of passage?
Yeah.
Like I am moving to a new level at something. I'm integrating a new way of being. I'm receiving a lesson. Right? A rite of passage. You're moving from one stage to the next. And we celebrate rites of passage, but we judge contrast.
Right. It's kind of a different way to hold it, because it's one thing, I think also too, you start to get into action and it's like, there's a lot that we can know and understand theoretically, and it doesn't always translate like that in reality, right? Like you understand how to do this workshop, you've got an idea or a theory about how to do this workshop, and then you actually go to do the workshop for the first time, and you're going to experience things and learn things that you couldn't have known before you went to do it. And so it maybe looks like you did something wrong, or there's a mistake or a problem or something like that, when really it's like, no, that's just how you develop yourself. That's how you optimize in a brilliant way, like the system. And some of it's just like, it's just helping become you. Right. And so it's like, if you're, I kind of like to think of it too, like this. Somebody mentioned the Theodore Roosevelt quote the other day, and it's like one of my favorites as well. This whole idea that like it's easy to sit on the sideline and point out how people could be doing it better. And it's a hell of a lot harder to get in and get your ass kicked and then get back up and do it again. And I've got a lot of respect for the people who are willing to get in the arena. And I don't have a lot of time to entertain whatever you're saying about over here. And rites of passage are like signs that you're in the arena, because you wouldn't be bumping up against this thing if you weren't doing it. And I think a lot of us have to deal with, there's a lot of places where we don't move because we're so afraid of confronting something like that. So, we don't have the rite of passage or we're not like taking a left jab, but we're not experiencing the exhilaration of being in the arena either. And so you can't have one without the other. So rites of passage are like I think a way to sort of reframe and celebrate the inevitable things that you're going to bump up against if you're willing to step in.
I love it. Thank you.